It is March 24th, 2023 on the road to WrestleMania. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast covering SmackDown tonight. Myself, NYC Demon Diva Isa, Jimmy Korderas. How's it going, Jimmy? Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while, and it's funny because I'm filling in here on a Friday night. I'm not usually on Friday nights, and I didn't even think I should have put on blue, especially someone who was a SmackDown blue referee for all those years. I should have put on blue, and I'm just because I do Monday nights all the time. I just red in my head.
Jimmy, I know it's because I took Wednesday off and you missed me. You can just say it. You can just say it. You wanted to. Yeah, you didn't see me Wednesday, so you're here tonight, so we can spend our typical weekly hour together.
Yeah. You got me.
So tonight, Rampage. It's on at a different time, so we're not doing that tonight. But we are doing SmackDown. And bear with us because I think next Friday also, I have a feeling all eyes are going to be on the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony after SmackDown to see how Dominic Mysterio crashes his father, Rey Mysterio's induction.
He don't need to. He don't need to. He got the match.
No.
Oh, it's too good. Do you think they could pass that up? You think that they? No, I don't see it.
I don't see it either, but at the same time, I do hope they keep it separate. I'd want to keep those, you can still do it in a way where Dominic doesn't sit with Angie and his mom and his sister.
Yeah.
And he sits with Rhea off to the side or something, but don't have that interaction then. I don't know. Let's kind of keep it. You can kind of subliminally do it without being overt.
But you tell me who's changing the channel to Rampage next Friday. People are going to be watching on Peacock to see if Dominic does something. He doesn't even have to, but people are going to tune in just to see if he does.
Fair point.
It's going to be good. It's going to be on. Not much in the news. Vicky Guerrero said on the podcast the whole story. She wished she was involved in the Dominic and Rey storyline. So I was hoping they would involve Vicky in this. I thought that would have been nice.
That would have been a lot of fun, especially going off the history on who Dom's Poppy was back in the day. So it would have like nice little connection of the dots and bringing old school back into new school.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Isa, our worlds are colliding between Spanish language music and professional wrestling. The big story yesterday was that Venezuelan American singer, influencer, and YouTuber Lele Pons on the Impulsive podcast said she was
20 million, baby.
Well, I watched the interview, and who's sitting there next to her? Her husband, Gwenna Bici, who said they offer you a lot of money. What was it, like 20 million? Like facetiously, it was like they offered you like $1 bajillion. All the sites pick up a headline: Lele Pons turned down $20 million offer. And WWE behind the scenes had to be like, "Oh, that was very generous of us," but no, we didn't do that.
Right. That is so funny that they denied it.
It's just weird to see people take it seriously. And people that don't know Gwenna, he looks like McLovin from Superbad, and his gimmick is he shows up in these videos looking like the awkward, nerdy guy, and then it comes to a point where he just throws down like some hardcore rap. He's very funny. He's a very, very funny, entertaining, charismatic personality. But him and Lele,
very shy Ronnie, of him.
Absolutely. Great.
Shy Ronnie from SNL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him in that Mala Rodriguez video. Was it Dame Bien, where it's just like ass, and Gwen is sitting there looking awkward, and it's like McLovin's got bars. He just starts throwing down.
Yeah.
So they own the wrestling media
he's actually
yesterday.
Good.
He's very good, very entertaining. So they own the wrestling media yesterday. Credit to them. That story was everywhere. Really nuts. So
I told you I've been disconnected because I took the last 2 days off, and that story I actually even managed to run into it. So it was everywhere.
And Lele Pons is very talented as well, and she does like so much different stuff. So I think she'd be great in WWE. But it was weird watching Logan Paul no sell that reaction. His coast is like they didn't pay him 20 grand. It was very fun.
Yeah, she's like, there's no way they offer you that.
Yeah, no way in hell. So yeah, not much else going on. CM Punk in the headlines today. You guys see this story?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
I saw it. The story here is that he claims he's never seen Rocky movies. That's the real story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who hasn't seen the Rocky movies? At least the first 3.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think he comes back? Do you think he's gonna be back in AEW, Jimmy?
That's a tough one. I don't know if you can. Apparently, he's ruffled some feathers there. I don't know if this, like, obviously I'm not there and I didn't see it live, but he's ruffled some feathers. But at the same time, if you can put business ahead of personal feelings, you can make a lot of money off of this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't see it happening. And I think he's probably waiting for his no compete or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. He's still under contract and for some reason hasn't been released from it. But especially the way things happen. I know it was a long time ago, that whole press conference thing, but that was unbelievable. And, he did it with Tony Khan sitting 3 feet away from him.
I know.
It's just incredible when you think back on exactly how it happened. And then that post he made on Instagram and took down about 30, what was it, 30 seconds later or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know how social media works. Somebody screen grabbed it. Somebody got it. Obviously it's out there and all the stuff. So I just find it interesting, some of the language he used.
How so?
Yeah.
Take, did he not call Jericho a mark? or what did he say? What did he call him?
Something like that, or a liar. I can't remember the exact post, but he did mention Jericho.
Stooge.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I know he's just, maybe he's trying to fan the flames a little bit to see what comes out of the fire.
We need some new disparaging terms in the wrestling industry. I feel like stooge, mark, jabroni, these have all been run into the ground.
Valid point.
Something new. I'm just putting it out there. So SmackDown tonight from Las Vegas, 20 minutes from where I sit right now. SmackDown was going on.
You didn't go?
No, I think the roads are still congested due to the Taylor Swift traffic that was here. There were highway signs put up by the travel advisory that was like, aggressive driving, shake it off. Like they were like the entire city, like bought into. People came here specifically for that. I mean, it was nuts, absolutely nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
But tonight we opened with Cody Rhodes, the potential champion.
Please stop.
The potential. I said potential. The challenger to Roman Reigns and the throne took on Ludwig Kaiser with Giovanni Vinci tonight in the opening of the show. Jimmy, were you surprised how competitive this match was?
To a certain degree, I was at the time, but even during the competitiveness of this match, at no time did I feel, unfortunately, that Ludwig Kaiser had a chance of winning the match. I pretty much thought it was a showcase for Cody and showing that Cody does have some weaknesses to the audience going into this match at WrestleMania. Obviously, we found out later on tonight that he is going to have a match on Monday night on Raw as well. But that's the only unfortunate thing. Sometimes when you put these matches together, you think of it as, hey, this could be a good match, but at the same time, I can't see how Ludwig Kaiser could win.
Isa, were you surprised how competitive this was?
Yes, a little bit. I said it before. We saw him kind of like not struggle, but there was a very competitive match with LA Knight. There was a very competitive night tonight, and it really showcases him, but it makes you wonder if you're struggling here, what is it going to be when you get to Roman, So I can't help but to think that. And I do like that so when Solo came out at the end of the match, they were like, oh, you're going to face Solo on Monday. It was like, you keep moving the goalposts, you keep putting all these objectives, but nobody put the only objective the Bloodline has put his way is Solo on Monday. He's the one making these matches against LA Knight, against Ludwig. He's the one making that. Cody never, Roman had nothing to do with that. So I don't understand why he was blaming Paul Heyman of putting all these objectives before his WrestleMania match. He's the one choosing to wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
True. I mean, so yeah, he finally won. Crossroads for the win. Heyman grabbed a mic and was there.
3 crossroads. Didn't he take 3 finishers? Yeah.
And Heyman was out there with Solo, and they're building up this match for Monday on Raw. So
Yes.
We'll see.
It was okay. I think the Raw match has more interest for me than tonight's did. It was a nice setup for that, the go home Raw. So it's going to be interesting because as we've seen, Solo seems to be the enforcer, for lack of a better term, for the bloodline. So, and he has, like we've seen, Cody has been selling a lot for guys like LA Knight, and again tonight for like Ludwig Borga, and Solo is a beast in the ring. So, I guess the idea storyline wise is that even if Solo does not defeat him on Monday, he kind of puts a hurting on him going into WrestleMania.
Right. Softens him up a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, but I don't think Solo should be taking a loss, right now.
Again, there's a way to do things where.
What if it ends on some weird DQ where we involve the Usos and KO and Sami Zayn?
There you go.
That's the biggest question mark about the tag match is how does Solo factor into the Usos versus KO and Sami? That's the unfair advantage the Bloodline has in that match.
He doesn't. I think. I mean, it depends. I'm waiting to see for the order of these matches, what night, who's going to go on what. Mm-hmm. I think that has a lot to do with how all these people are going to, collaborate. But I did say earlier tonight, sorry, Jimmy. No. I did say earlier tonight that I want the main event of WrestleMania to be a clean pin. No matter where it goes, right? Whether it's Cody, whether it's Roman, I would like it to be a clean main event.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. But as far as the tag team match goes and Solo's involvement, I think there might be an edict by the leader, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, that you leave the Usos on their own. You are with me. You are to look after, my best interests on WrestleMania. Not the Usos can handle themselves, sort of thing, and maybe add a little more tension within the bloodline.
I mean, the real question is, a week from Sunday, does Paul Heyman eat a Crossroads during WrestleMania?
If a Crossroads is some kind of pastry that they have there in LA, then I could see it.
A Crossroads sounds delicious. It sounds like a bear claw, just like it's got a nice glaze on it, maybe some cherries, Crossroads. Yeah. Antoine Fair, wow. $5 super chat saying he didn't take he attempted 3 times and landed a Crossroads.
Right, so he's struggling with Ludwig. Imagine him trying to get that on Roman. It's going to take him like 20
attempts. Oh my God. Tonight, what's going to happen? How is Cody's ego going to hold up that his advocate, Alfred Kanawa, is not here tonight?
It's so refreshing. Over. So refreshing.
Oh, man. Yeah, Cleveland Rock's pointing out Solo's the only Bloodline member without a Mania match, so he'll definitely be involved in the finish. I could see that. So we heard from Charlotte Flair giving a pretty impassioned promo tonight. This was actually a very lengthy promo talking about she doesn't fear Rhea Ripley. She respects her. She's putting over the women's division. And she was getting what chants like crazy to the point where she had to try and stop the crowd. Mm-hmm. I think the crowd is going to be very behind Rhea winning at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's got star written all over her. I mean, she exudes that personality even in a heel role. It's almost like they want to cheer her despite the fact that she's a heel.
Yeah. Issa, what'd you think of the promo?
I love the fit. First of all, Jimmy, shout out to you matching Charlotte's red tonight. I thought she looked excellent, wonderful. She always comes out, just has that it factor, that presence. There's just something about Charlotte Flair that grabs everybody's attention. Love the promo. Drop some names. Drop the Bella's name. Mention Sasha Banks. Pop for all of that. And I love Charlotte. She's one of my favorites. I am too secretly rooting for Rhea. I want Rhea to get her big WrestleMania moment. I want it to happen, but they're doing a good job of building this. And I didn't want to see a pull apart brawl. I thought they did great last week with what they did. So it was good to just see Charlotte say what she had to say. We'll see what they do Monday with Rhea, but I liked it. I thought it was great.
Well, first Rhea wins the championship, and then Dominic in Puerto Rico defeats Cody for the WWE championship.
Beautiful.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I just kept thinking this today.
Sometimes you get carried away, Glenn. Sometimes you get carried away.
Okay, but we all agree they need to do something around Father's Day with Dominic and Rey, like having another big match. Like that should probably be the blow off.
The Judgment Day is gonna make a new version of, but it's gonna be called Father Lover instead of Mother Lover. It's gonna be great.
So I like the Charlotte promo, but yeah, I think the crowd just is ready for Rhea to win the championship. Rey Mysterio had a very competitive match against LA Knight. Now Dominic Mysterio did distract, which allowed LA Knight to get the win, but the real action in this was what happened after the match. And I don't mean to just completely overlook this, but Jimmy, what do you think about LA Knight?
I think LA Knight is another future superstar. I mean, he ticks all the boxes. He's good in the ring. He has a presence. He exudes confidence. He speaks well, and especially he's a complete. And I know people hate this term. He's a complete sports entertainer / pro wrestler. He has all the tools. It's just a matter of finding the right fit and the right storyline to elevate him to that status. And in one way, I'm kind of glad that they're not rushing it. Take your time with him, build him up, because this guy has a potential to be a huge superstar.
I mean, they're taking their time. I mean, Jimmy, like LA Knight's like my age. Like he doesn't have that many years left.
I didn't know how old he was, so oh boy.
No,
well,
I mean, he's
not my age.
I'm just saying, like we could take our time and build this up. Actually, he's younger than me. He's 40 years old, but still, like I feel like we've been hearing that LA Knight's gonna get this monster push, and not seeing it yet. You know?
Patience, my friend.
Patience is what we had, waiting for Rey Mysterio to snap.
Yes. So this was great with Dominic calling his mom a deadbeat mom. We don't hear about deadbeat moms very often. Getting his family's face. And finally, Rey Mysterio had enough and came there and got physical with his son.
Well, we know who Rey Mysterio's favorite kid is. It's Aaliyah, because once he called his little sister stupid, that's when he finally snapped. So there's favoritism in this family. Clearly, Dominic has been suffering since a young age.
Issa, is this how you felt when you called your father to pick you up and he thought it was your sister calling
and he
went
and
to pick
picked her up? Yes.
And you were just standing there at the payphone.
Exactly how I felt. Yes,
Wow.
it was such a moment. It was so sad. I wasn't feeling good. Glenn, he went and picked up my sister. It's a horrible day in my life. But did you hear the crowd pop? Everybody is so invested. Everybody waited on this moment. I think that they did it because of what we were discussing earlier, so we can leave the Hall of Fame kind of alone. Maybe they can do something, but nothing major. But I'm glad that Rey finally snapped. I was just waiting for a chancleta to come out, but I'll still take it.
Right. One thing, sorry to cut you off there, Glenn. One thing I did enjoy too is when after the incident happened, they replayed it several times. But the announcers laid out and let the action tell the story.
Right.
Instead of trying to overhype it. You know what I mean? They just let the actions speak volumes.
I mean, for Hall of Fame, there's only 3 names announced: Rey Mysterio, the Great Muta, and Andy Kaufman.
Yeah. That's all that has been announced so far.
Right.
I don't think we're getting Cyndi Lauper this year. I wish we were.
Well, no, unfortunately, they only do one Celebrity Hall of Fame.
I know, but Andy Kaufman, like both Andy and you know what? I'm gonna say this: both Andy and Cyndi. I wouldn't even say the celeb wing. I mean, were very involved in storylines. I mean, you know, this isn't like Shaq or Drew Carey or somebody that just came in. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying, so I'm telling you, I think the main reason to tune in. Well, one, I want to see is Tony Clifton going to show up to accept on Andy Kaufman's behalf.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you got, okay, wait, I mean, like, Issa, Jimmy, and I are a little older than you are. So we, know full well the Andy Kaufman lore. Do you know much about Issa, about Andy Kaufman and Tony Clifton and this whole...
No, I don't.
Okay, I figured, because you're young.
I'm not that young, but...
I mean, you're a baby, you know?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're as Britney Spears once saying, not a girl yet not a woman. But Andy Kaufman would pull these kayfabe bending stunts, and he had an alter ego, Tony Clifton. After Andy Kaufman died, someone showed up as Tony Clifton, kind of perpetuating this rumor that Andy Kaufman was still alive and he pulled this great hoax. So the question is going to be at the Hall of Fame, are they going to do something to perpetuate, that kayfabe bending sort of storyline?
It'd be interesting if they even incorporated a Jim Carrey into this.
Oh my God. Did you watch that documentary about the making of Man on the Moon?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. So the great, I got to tell the story with this. So Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman had this huge feud. Mm-hmm. And Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman in the movie. They had Jerry Lawler in the movie as himself. Jim Carrey was a dick to Jerry Lawler, and every time he would see him, would call him out and be like, "You're an asshole. I'm going to kick your ass," yada, yada. And Jerry Lawler was like, "What the hell? Andy Kaufman in real life behind the scenes, we were friends. Like, why is Jim Carrey being method and being a dick to me all the time?" So the payoff and the punchline to this is after making Jerry Lawler's life miserable and pranking him and bullying him this whole shoot, Jerry Lawler gets a note from Jim Carrey's people saying, "Jim, now that he's done with the role, wants to thank you for all your effort. He's sorry about the bad blood between you both, and he wants to make this up to you. He's going to take you out to dinner in New York." And Jerry Lawler shows up for this dinner and sits down, and like 2 hours later, what's going on? And then he receives a note that says like, "F you, Lawler, love Jim Carrey."
That's actually funny.
Wow. So it would be amazing if Jim Carrey showed up to do something with this. I would get a real.
They are in Hollywood. They're in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but hear me out, Glenn.
Yeah.
Hear me out. I gotta go back to this Rey Mysterio thing.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't help but to think of that scene in Dark Knight. Do you know when Harvey Dent makes Gordon pick the person that he loves the most, and that's who they're gonna shoot? Yeah.
Whoa,
he would let them shoot Dominic, but he wouldn't let them shoot Aaliyah. He showed that tonight.
Wait, that's where you went.
Yeah, that's
where you went with this.
Yes.
Like you're getting full Sophie's Choice with this, as opposed to like, okay, wow.
You know that thing, right? Where he's like, "I'm gonna kill the one that you love the most," and he starts testing him. You saw it tonight. We know who Rey loves the most in that family. It was exposed.
Okay.
Wow. Your brain didn't go there automatically?
Not that dark.
No, because I thought. See, for me, it was like when he told his mom to shut up. It looked like that's when the switch went off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But at the same time,
maybe he would let him kill both of the kids and just keep the wife. That would be smart, actually.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Lisa's already in the mindset to watch the Yellow Jackets season premiere and talk about it on our podcast, Yellow Jackets Buzz.
I'm in a dark mood, Glenn. I'm preparing,
you haven't watched it yet. Okay.
No, not yet.
This is gonna be good. Okay, so Antoine Fair, $5, saying technically he said it was Dom telling his wife to shut up. Anyway, this was a Will Smith, Chris Rock moment with Rey.
Oh,
relevant. WWE relevant.
Okay, there you go.
13 months after the fact.
Thanks, Antoine, for all the mansplaining tonight. Yeah. I appreciate it.
No, Issa, do you know what mansplaining is? Let me break it down for you. No, I'm sorry.
Did I get that wrong too? I'm sorry.
No. Bigfoot Sneakerhead Buck99 saying great storyteller, amazing writing. Yeah, I mean this tonight there's a lot of really good stuff going on. A cup of my tea, $4.99. I did enjoy Rey slapping the S out of Dom, but my mom would have beat me with an inch of my life if I spoke to her like that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my mom is the scary one in my family. There's no way I would ever even stare at my mom the wrong way. So
no, I just not to get off topic here, but my mom too would discipline us when we were kids, only because if it was my dad, boy, not a good thing. I think she was figuring. Better me because it'll be easier on us.
Right. Well, it's funny that you say that, Jimmy, because a few weeks ago I did tell Glenn that this whole thing was Rey's wife's fault because there's my mom. There's no way my mom would let me talk to my dad that way. So why is she allowing Dom to keep doing this?
Right.
Yeah. No, this is the biggest storyline going in WrestleMania. Sorry, Roman. Sorry, Cody. Sorry, Usos. Sorry, Kevin and Sammy. Like Rey versus Dominic is the hottest storyline in all of
the crowd wrestling. Busted a yes chant after Rey finally snapped. It was great.
No, this is going to be the big moment, this match. And I don't know who should win. Honestly, I think Rey winning is feel good, but I think Dominic should win this.
Depends on what they have planned next. Depends if it keeps going or not.
Yeah. Seals Blue Devil, $2, saying Roman keeps the title and Dominic wins Money in the Bank and cashes it in SummerSlam.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
That would be amazing. Majestic Marie, $5. This Tina, hey. My dad used to go see Memphis wrestling at the Louisville Gardens every Tuesday night. They had to sneak Andy Kaufman out to keep him safe because those fans were crazy. They're going to do a great package for this, but you think MJF is a heel. Andy Kaufman would wrestle women and get up there and say like the most sexist stuff. And it was just amazing. I mean, yeah, the way he would blur lines and get audience reactions, like it was next level.
He understood this business too. He's a big fan of pro wrestling, but he understood the psychology of how you get fans invested and interested. And he didn't use one twisting, burning 450 hammer Phoenix splash to do it either.
Yeah, I mean, his stuff was a lot of like rest spots, and he would do the rest spot. And then, Lawler would be there like nurse his neck, and Andy would just get on the mic and start talking more trash. Mm-hmm. I mean, he talked more than he wrestled, but it was incredible. And Man on the Moon is just a great movie. And then the Netflix documentary about Jim and Andy, I believe it's called, talks about how Jim Carrey went full method for this.
I watched the movie. I haven't watched the documentary. I need to check it out.
Yeah, very, very good. Antoine saying, geez, I was joking. My bad.
So was I, Antoine. Yeah. Relax. Come on.
Don't get hot.
Yes. Wow. Bear Hudson, $5 saying CM Punk needs to be fired. The recent tweet about HBK and the explicit language he used should not be tolerated. Tony Khan needs to step up and fire him. I mean, he has to pay him out.
Wait, he has a job? We don't even know if he even has a job still.
Yeah, I didn't see the recent tweet about HBK, so I can.
No, I didn't either. Do you think in some ways Twitter is the worst thing that ever happened to professional wrestling?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great tool to help promote your brand and promote you. But at the same time, it is also being used as methods of trolling and other things and getting, especially now, spoilers out there and doing all this kind of stuff. People are using it for other purposes other than to promote.
Yes. It's just such a weird thing. No one says like, could you imagine, man, back in the 80s, Greg the Hammer Valentine, his Twitter feed was lit, like the sickest memes.
Yeah.
It was a different time back then. I almost wonder if wrestling in some ways worked better when we had less access and less visibility to wrestlers. So when we saw them on TV, it was like really, really special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you saw them in person,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think there's definitely something to that, especially, when there's so much action. And you look now on television, how much wrestling is on television, how much you can absorb it online. And that's why when people say, what do you mean you don't watch this show and you don't watch it? I said, hey, I watch other shows other than pro wrestling. I'm sorry to tell you.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. CM Punk posted on his story, Antoine Fair, thank you. I didn't know this is what he said about HBK. He posted the Shawn Michaels meme story about getting the table at the restaurant and then the altercation, but then he was cool and then they went on to have like a romantic torrid affair. This is a very famous copy and paste on Reddit that goes around. There's like two famous one about having like dog crap on your shoes and wrestler being mean to you, and the other one about the restaurant and the table story. Right. So the fact CM Punk posted that, I mean, you got to remember, CM Punk seems like sort of a crotchety old man, but he's very much a millennial. And, this is like pure trolling with posting this story. So Antoine, thank you for sharing that. Man, Xia Li and Lacey Evans are a tag team, and they took on Shotzi and Natalya.
as of 2 hours ago, right?
Issa, think about how invested we've been in this story. Xia Li and Lacey Evans both having those career-defining vignettes telling their backstory, and just imagine how they came together and commiserated over their lackluster pushes that sort of went nowhere. And they said, you know what? Your career's not really taken off. My career's not really taken off. We're talented. Let's form a tag team together. And they had WrestleMania dreams. And they sat and they talked about it probably today in catering. And they said, we're going to compete on SmackDown tonight and go to WrestleMania. And they lost to Shotzi and Natalya, who also probably had similar experiences today when they formed their tag team.
Yeah, and then Shayna and Ronda came out and just said we're in the match.
And
Great
they're
stuff.
1,000% winning that match.
Oh yeah. Why don't they have to qualify? Like I was so I didn't like anything about this. I have enjoyed WrestleMania. I think we have a lot of matches that have some great build up, but this just felt so. We're just gonna throw together to put these women in the card.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
Natalya got to ride in the tank. That was cool.
Well, it's not as much fun as riding in the back of a golf cart in the middle of a Falls Count Anywhere match at WrestleMania at the Houston Astrodome. With Kane driving.
Listen.
Sorry, I had to get that in there.
No,
I don't have those kind of cool stories. I crashed a golf cart once at a resort in the middle of the night. I was drunk. I left it there. I don't know what happened. I just walked away.
Well, in the same match, Big Show crashed a golf cart into the fence there. But anyways, I digress.
I crashed it into a palm tree, Jimmy. Very on brand for me being in Puerto Rico, you know.
There you go.
I mean, this match was what it was. Good on Shotzi and Natalya for getting the win, but yeah, the fact that Shayna and Ronda, this entire match should just be, they should just make it like a Queen of the Mountain match and just have Shayna and Ronda in the middle of the ring and everyone running and attacking them, and they're just throwing people out of the ring for like 5 minutes straight, and then they win. And I'm sure they're going to go on to win the tag team championships after this.
What was more unacceptable, this or the Andre the Giant graphic that they show for half a second with Bobby Lashley in it?
Oh,
so Bray's out then.
What do you think?
I mean, unless we're getting swerved, unless Uncle Howdy is gonna host. Uncle Howdy should host WrestleMania.
Oh.
with scripts from NXT. Like, let's just bring them all together. Yeah.
And the puppets for the firehouse.
Yes.
Right, for the firehouse. For the
yes.
Firefly fun.
Fun house, yes.
Yeah.
I love The Miz, but if the puppets hosted WrestleMania, that would actually be pretty epic.
10 out of 10.
You know what? I got nothing to top that.
Yeah. I liked Ronda and Shayna's promo quite a bit here. I thought for them being heels, I mean, look, their fighting pedigree, we all know. I think as biggest, Shayna has been a very good influence on Ronda in the sense that Ronda trying to come in and be a locker room leader or trying to be like, I'm a wrestling fan and I'm here living my dream. Like, I know that's her passion, but her and Shayna being just like, we're the baddest bees in this business and we could beat the crap out of all of you, is them living their best lives in professional wrestling.
Agreed. And shout out to Ronda Rousey for pointing at the sign for a long period of time, reminding us of her amazing debut.
Yeah.
So this was good. And the line they said, like, I broke your when she said, so one, she was like, Ronda was like, or Shayna was like, I broke your nose, I broke your arm, and you broke your spirit.
Almost as good as Dylan saying Ronda is just living her truth.
I think this was the best promo tonight that Shayna and Ronda have ever been involved in.
Yeah, possibly.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Exactly. Keep it simple.
Yes. Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre had a contract signing. I was thinking about this. I tweeted it. Like, they pay these wrestlers to travel. There's always a brawler altercation. Like, get DocuSign. We can do all this electronically.
Yeah, but still, like, record it. Like, get like a video footage from them at home, like opening the email, not figuring it out, getting some help from their kids or something. That would be so hilarious.
Oh my goodness, that would be classic. Classic.
Oh my god.
I mean,
or they can just sign with a smiley face and then say they never signed it because that's not their signature.
And what a shock too. We had a contract signing that led to a match.
Never seen that before, Jimmy.
Right.
I think the contract signing that turns into some sort of physical altercation is my least favorite trope and cliche in all of professional wrestling.
Of course, as soon as you see it announced, what's the reaction? I don't remember anybody with the reaction of, "Oh, great! There's a contract signing tonight." They announce it, and everybody goes.
Yeah, but we got a nice surprise. We got Butch.
Yes, we did get Butch. But you know what they should do? I actually think if they want that big fight feel, they should do it like a press conference and and let the audience ask questions, and let them start I don't know, do something different or more fun with this. But this tonight went exactly as expected. Sheamus coming out, McIntyre pissed about how Sheamus is running a mouth on social media, Gunther's music hitting, and then this leading to Gunther versus Butch, which was a fine match. But I'm looking forward to this triple threat. Who do you think Gunther's going to retain at Mania, Jimmy?
It's interesting because if there was a plan to take the title off of Gunther, this is, a way to do it by not having him get pinned or submitted or anything like that. But at the same time, this is also an opportunity to elevate. They're making the match feel like a big time match and making the title feel a little more important, which I like. And what better way to do that than have Gunther, retain, I think, in a big time way.
Right.
Issa, is there any way that somehow Butch ends up Intercontinental Champion after this match?
No. No, but if this was a battle of the jackets, I would say Drew McIntyre would win. That was a sweet jacket he was wearing tonight.
Yeah. But Gunther hit Butch with the last symphony tonight for the win.
Yeah.
But then we had the stare down with Sheamus and Gunther, and then McIntyre hit him with a Claymore click, stared down Sheamus. It's nice to see the Street Profits tonight facing off with Braun Strowman and Ricochet.
Yeah, interesting backstage interaction.
Yes, and Ricochet uttered that famous line saying the Profits are going to fool around and find out, which is what all the kids are saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Fool around and find out.
Fool around and find out.
Is that what they say, Glenn?
I guess it depends on what you're finding out by fooling around.
And depends on how you're fooling around.
It's true. Sometimes you fool around and your wife finds out.
Oh. Then
Are we gonna start talking about car key parties again, Glenn? Come on.
I was making an analogy. It described NXT to a T.
I did too. I made a dark night analogy. You say I'm a dark person.
You are a dark person. Wearing your Beetlejuice jacket, just hanging out,
Is that Beetlejuice or
no, this is in honor of Jimmy, okay? This is in honor of Jimmy. It's my own version of my referee outfit,
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't have to wear my referee shirt for you two, so that's cool.
No, I love Glenn. Me and Glenn are buddies.
We're good.
Yeah.
God, we're doing enough other projects together.
I know.
We're not sick of each other yet.
No.
So I think Strowman and Ricochet, I mean, it works. The Street Profits, it's just the tag team division. I'm looking forward to a nice reset with the tag titles and Issa cover your ears and with the main championships. I think these unified titles have been dominated for too long. And I do like that after Mania, there's going to be a chance there's going to be this air of unpredictability. I don't think Cody or Sammy and KO are going to hold these for 1,000 days. Maybe not even 100 days.
Not likely. I don't see it being that long, but it does feel like this could be the right time to alleviate the champions of these titles at this time and create other stories within the bloodline, which we talked about before. But at the same time, right now, they've got a couple of hot commodities, especially with Sammy. Sammy has caught fire right now. The crowd loves him, and they do love KO as well. But Sammy is just,
Where did you stand on that? Do you think it was the right choice not to put Sammy in the main event for Mania, to put him in title contention with Roman and Cody?
I like that better only because you can start different storylines here. You can go after, let's say you want to put the titles on KO and Sammy, that would be good. But if they want to keep the titles on the Usos, one way to do it is KO setting Sammy up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine what kind of a heel KO could be with Sammy as hot as he is right now as a babyface, and Cody going in as I could see Cody coming out as champion as well. You can make a case either way. That's the beauty about this, though. You can make an argument either way that makes sense.
I mean, Sammy and Cody got a very loud crowd reaction tonight, but Sammy's reaction we had the Kevin Owens show, him introducing Sammy. And I mean, this was the nicest, most congenial Kevin has been towards Sammy in quite some time. They're talking about taking on the bloodline, and KO, when he introduced him with that shirt, the WrestleZania, the double-sided KO Mania and WrestleZania. I mean, that crowd pop. I mean, there's a reason this closed the show and Cody opened the show. This is the bigger storyline from a fan point of view in some ways right now. At least to that SmackDown crowd tonight.
So we're just not gonna talk about the lack of original thoughts here. How he made him a shirt, the same thing that Roman did months ago. We're not just gonna talk about how they're just doing the exact same thing. We're just gonna completely ignore that. Let me know.
Issa, so when you're dating someone and they give you a gift or when a suitor gives you a gesture of affection, is your response like, so what? Let me tell you about the last 5 gifts I got from people that were in.
So that's weird that you brought that up, Glenn, because I'm thinking to myself, buying my missus flowers, let's say, for Valentine's Day. If I get her flowers next Valentine's Day, is that like a no?
If you get her, let's say you got her a Tiffany ring, right? And then she dumps you, and the next person goes and gets her the exact same Tiffany ring, but in a different finish. This one is gold instead of silver. I don't need 2 Tiffany rings. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And people over there crying about it like Sammy didn't get a shirt. It was more meaningful when Roman gave him a shirt. Kevin Owens gave him like his shirt too. He couldn't even at least Roman made it for Sammy. This is a KO Mania shirt. He couldn't even remove himself from the equation like Roman Reigns did for Sammy's sake.
Well, let me give a pro tip. I know we're past Valentine's Day, but you can buy those Tiffany blue boxes on eBay. You can put other jewelry inside them.
Ooh,
just putting it out there.
Just let me write that down.
You can put a lot of things in a box and you can give them to her.
But wow. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait a second. He said this is now, by my count, 3 Andy Samberg references on tonight's podcast.
Wow.
I don't even know where they're coming from, but he's obviously one of my favorites.
I think the Lonely Island is sending Issa some charcuterie.
You know what it was? The other day, I finally decided to stop playing my Bad Bunny playlist and just put every song in my Apple Play on shuffle. And Mother Lover came on, and I sang it, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this kid so much." So they've been in the back of my head for a few days now.
Wow. This was good. Of course, the Usos showed up and started beating them up. And then Kevin grabbed a chair and the Usos retreated. I mean, good way to go off the air. Mm-hmm. So we did find out tonight that John Cena versus Austin Theory are opening night 1 of WrestleMania.
I'm going to open with a bet.
That'll be good.
Well, what do they say? The 2 most important parts of the show are how you open and how you end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll see. But, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what main events. If it'll be KO and Sammy versus the Usos or Rhea versus Charlotte.
But they haven't really given us the orders. But I would assume the KO and the Usos will go 9-1, and Roman and we'll see. We'll see. I really would love for them to break down which match is going on what night. I feel like we knew more of the orders last year than we do this year. I think they only made official 2 matches. 3 because Roman and Cody obviously night 2, but I wish, because we have about 14 matches booked, so I wish we had more of what's happening on which night.
Yeah,
I think we'll know soon. And of course, next Saturday is going to be long. We got Stand and Deliver from NXT during the day, then Mania starting shortly thereafter.
LA and watch the show with me, Glenn?
Yeah, Issa, here's the thing.
God,
the only people in the Wrestling Inc. universe that will not be at Mania are me, Jimmy, and Justin Lepar.
Yeah.
I guess somebody has to run the shows, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, we were on that email thread, and I was just like, I think we're the only people not going. It could very well be us both nights. You know? So
I'm gonna crash all the shows.
All the shows.
Cool.
Send me the links, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That'll be good.
Please do.
This is exciting though. I'm really looking forward to Hall of Fame. The Andy Kaufman thing, I think, is going to be entertaining. But Dominic and Rey, there's the prospect is just too good to pass up. So we'll see what happens. But that was tonight. Rampage is on later, or it's tomorrow. It's not on now. That's the important thing. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Jimmy, what's your Twitter handle? It's cut off there on that.
No, well, my Twitter handle is at Jimmy Korderas, all lowercase, and on Instagram it's at Real Jimmy Korderas, and you can find me there doing my ref and rants from Monday to Fridays, just having a little fun, critiquing, not to tear down, but to see, because I want to see this business grow and get better. And then again, they're all my personal opinions.
Yeah.
And of course, you can catch me here on Monday nights with Triple J, on Wednesday nights with Issa and Justin after Dynamite, and apparently this Friday night too, which is awesome, which is really cool. And maybe that's going to be you and Justin on the nights after WrestleMania as well.
Cool.
Tune in and find out.
Absolutely. Jesus, I just saw what Dylan, the graphic he made.
I just sent that to you.
Dylan, please don't post that.
Listen, I think I'm here for NXT. And then I'll be back after I come back from WrestleMania, except for when I crash your shows.
Cool. I will be here next week. I think NXT is going to be awesome. Looking forward to Stand and Deliver. And follow Issa, NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with a 1. I'm Mackline Rubenstein. Issa and I, new episode, season premiere, Yellow Jackets Buzz, our podcast.
We're launching live
later tonight.
It's going to be a late night one.
Not
that late, because we have no Rampage. So if you guys are fans of Yellow Jackets Buzz, or if you watch the premiere episode, come hang out with us on my YouTube channel. Give me a little bit so I can watch it first, and then we're going to be live over there giving our first reactions.
Yeah, cool. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you back here next time on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.